Hi, good evening, everyone, and fantastic welcome to everyone. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and we're very, very pleased to have a total superstar with us tonight. Scott Henley wearing his cap, yeah, and I think, Scott, this will be such a fascinating call because you are doing so many different things, both with your life, but also with the Juice Plus business, and you're living living in a big world. I think that's probably the best way to put it, with your charity work and everything that you're doing. But let's just start off with a little bit of a question. Can you tell us, for the people may not know anything about it, can you tell us a little bit about your background? How you came
Yeah,
to...
sorry I'm late. I was late, guys. I was having a few issues with my internet. But very privileged and to be asked to come on the call and share with you, I guess, my sort of story, my journey, and any tips that I can give you, I guess, and hopefully there's something you take from the call. So let me tell you a bit about myself. Just a normal guy. Grew up in Dorset on a council estate, or should I say got dragged up? No. Went to school, went to college, got my GCSEs, got my A-levels, and I was playing sort of semi-professional football, and I tried to, like a lot of young lads out there, that you want to make it professional, and it never really quite happened. And I was about 24 and I decided to travel. I travelled around Australia for a year and did a bit of football coaching in Greece for a year, and then got back into the UK and had my daughter when I was 25. Now, I didn't really, apart from sort of my football and my qualifications I got at college, I didn't really have a career. I didn't have anything that was stable for my daughter's future. So I went into the RAF careers office, and I said, I want to be an RAF PTI. And they sort of looked at me and said, right, okay, is there anything else you want to do? And I was like, no. They said, what about a fireman? I was like, are you trying to sway me away from being a PTI? They said, well, it's not trying to sway you away, but there's only 1 in 120 odd people that get in. That's the sort of average. And I said, well, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good chance. I'm happy with that. So I had to get really fit and get myself ready, and my service knowledge and everything like that. A year later, I was in the Air Force, and, I joined for, all those sorts of things, salary, security, longevity. I needed a career. I needed something stable for my daughter's future. So I would say my personality is very self-motivated. I'm very determined, bit of a stubborn bugger, I suppose. But with me, I guess, when I plant a seed in my head, I'm going for it, and I'll 100% commit to it. So there's a bit of background.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so tell us, obviously Juice Plus was a completely different, this is coming in at a completely different angle into your life. Tell us how that happened. And, because a lot of people would be thinking, well, I perhaps didn't feel like I could go for it in the early stages. What did you feel when you first heard about Juice Plus?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I guess I'm not business or sales minded, and I used Facebook, and that's where I seen it, someone on Facebook. But I just thought, one, I thought it's not for me. And two, I was the biggest skeptic ever. I was so skeptical. And it wasn't necessarily the products. I didn't know much about the products. It was the business side of it. Online marketing, network marketing, MLM, whatever you want to call it. I just didn't understand it. And
Scott, what was it that caught your eye? I mean, when you say you saw it on Facebook, what made you go for it?
Facebook was posting. And to be fair, if I'm going to be honest, James, he wasn't doing good posts.
What was he posting?
Yeah, he was annoying me. And I would just message him saying, what is this you're doing? So it was it wasn't a curiosity question. It was more of like, what are you up to? And to be fair, what he did really well is he didn't give me too much information. He just gave me little bits here and there. But what he did is got his upline, because he didn't have kids at the time, he got his upline to ring me, who had a daughter, so I could relate to him. And he was like, look, if you can earn a few extra £100 a month, imagine what you could do for your daughter, spoil her at Christmas, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what made me join. And then when I was on the phone to him and I realized it was, part-time, you don't handle any of the stock, it's all done online, all those sorts of things. And I thought, okay, well, so it's just a £50 investment, that's it. And he was like, yeah. If you don't, he goes, in fact, if you don't earn that in your first month, I'll give you that money back. He said, that's it. And I was like, all right, okay. Then I had a look at the company website. I had a good look at the products, the company history, that was important. And I was trying to find something wrong with it, and I couldn't. And I felt a little bit embarrassed, if I'm going to be honest. And, I went back to him. I said, right, what I'll do is I'll join the business and order the products at exactly the same time, so I get my own commission on my products. So that's how I started.
Right. And what did you order then?
2013.
Wow. And what did you order? What did you go for?
I started off with the shakes. And I'll go into a little bit about my journey with, my first year in the business. So I started on the shakes, and it was purely because it was cost. I think they were 29 or £30 then.
Yeah.
And, I'm a gym goer, so protein, plant-based. It was something that I thought would suit me. I didn't know about the capsules then. Obviously, when I started earning more money, then I'm on everything now. I absolutely love it all. But at the time, yeah, it was the complete. And within probably 2 months, I dropped, a couple of percent body fat. I was in good shape anyway, but I had more energy levels, and I was training harder. And I just thought, yeah, this product's great, and that's why I wanted to invest in the others.
Wow. And did you start in the business? I mean, although you joined the business, you joined at the same time. Did you actually start actively in the business straight away, or how long did that take for you to get rolling?
Yeah, I mean, I did, but it's difficult. It's really difficult. And I say to all my team now, if you're going to get someone in the business, it's important that they either join the business and order the products, or have tried the products before. If they join your team, and they don't want to order the products, then I would say don't. There's no point having them whatsoever. And so when I started posting, they were quite salesy posts. So there was no sort of, none of my personality in the post. It was all, do you know what I mean? So yep. I wasn't getting a lot of interaction, but I was only dipping my toe in because I didn't feel the benefits of the products. I didn't know much about the business. And the more that I was getting excited about the business, the more I learned, the more, I was getting exposed to the events. Yep. The more then, I was putting my personality, the more excited I was, the more curiosity I was creating.
And what sort of thing would you have been posting? What sort of thing would you have been posting to get people's interest?
It was just things like, obviously, your own journey is really important, guys. So your own journey, whether you're, on your own health kick, so you go into the gym, you're eating this, you're eating that, but it wasn't just a check-in, it'd be you in the picture, it'd be you making your shakes, it'd be a live, all those sorts of things. And the same in the business, but it wasn't direct. To start with, it was, and I wasn't getting a lot of interaction, but it wasn't direct message. It was all about creating a lot of curiosity. What is he up to? What is he doing? What's he taking? What's that? I didn't even mention Juice Plus a lot of the times. I did initially, but to create curiosity, I didn't in the end. It's just all about me and what I was up to. I've got my part-time business. I'm working from the beach. I'm having 30 different fruits and vegetables every day. I feel great. Do you know what I mean? Lots of energy levels. So it's very indirect, and it's really important that you're indirect. And then obviously showing my results and other people's results as well.
Yeah. And so were you completely online? I mean, in terms of your marketing of the business, or were you offline as well? No,
everything. Which way possible.
So doing everything, talking to people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was only on Facebook at the time. And like I said, because I was creating curiosity and a lot of excitement and a lot of intrigue, when I was at work, for example, and, I was maybe taking the guys on an 8-mile tab, and then they start talking about weight loss, or they start talking about their diet, or they've seen my Facebook post, what's this shake scent you're doing, or whatever it is, then you start a conversation. So yeah, I think taking your business offline is really important. Also what I did, when I first started, like with the first week, I wrote a big list of names of people that know me. And I tried to do 100 names. And I was either messaging them on Facebook, texting them, or phoning them. So I was phoning my very close friends and family. And I was just so excited about it. I'd either say, this is what it is. Obviously I was saying, hi, how's things? How's work? And blah, blah, blah. I wait for them to moan and then just say, I'm just doing something, earning a bit of extra money and a health, a health, new health kick or whatever you want to say. Yep. And you can either say, like, your name straight away comes to my head. I think you'd be great at this. Would you like more information? So that's a direct approach, or the indirect approach. And, I know it's not for you, but do you know anyone? So that's the indirect. Do you know anyone would be interested in earning money, looking good, feeling good? Or you can say, look, I know it's not for you, but would you have a look at my website and just tell me your honest opinion and let me know what you think? So you've got 3 approaches there. Yeah. And that worked. I got a lot of new team members or a lot of customers just by phoning people up because they trusted me. Yeah, I'm a genuine guy. I'm into my fitness, I'm into my sport. I'm in the Air Force, so I just find out what they wanted. Did they want to look good? Did they want to feel good? Did they want to make money? And that's all I was talking about on the phone to them.
Now you started having like a major amount of success. I remember when I sort of felt like I first properly met you and I sort of said hello to you and you were being announced as a national marketing director. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So, tell us about your first 6 months, but also when did your first major breakthrough come? Because you must have been trucking along, talking to people, but then suddenly you must have been picking up momentum and you must have thought, whoa, hang on a moment, there's something really happening here.
Yeah. Like I said before, when I do something, I put everything into it. So I literally was getting in. I lived on base in Portsmouth. I was getting in from work at probably about 4:30, and then I'd go to the mess, have my tea, come back, and I started doing like an hour or 2 to start with in the evenings. And we didn't have Zooms then or lives or anything like that, so it was just messaging and contacting people and posting. All right, and I tried to speak to like 5 to 10 people every night. But as soon as I got as soon as you start like building a bit of momentum, I was like that then, it engulfed me and I just wanted to be more successful, speak to more people, get more people on the products, help more people in the business. So I was then doing like 3, 4, 5 hours an evening. I had nothing better to do anyway because I was living on base. So I thought, let's do it. But I loved the products by the first few weeks, but I didn't understand the business model. But I just created so much intrigue, so much curiosity, so much excitement that people were like, I suppose they were a bit scared to miss out. They were just, I don't even know. I got one message from Rachel Allen. Rachel Allen's she's an executive marketing director, and she basically has been on the journey with me. 2 weeks into my journey, into the business, she ordered the products. I think probably a week after her having the products, she was like, what even is all this? She goes, I don't even know what you're doing, but I want to join you. I want to join what it is you're up to. It looks like you're having so much fun and everything else. And that's the sort of messages I was wanting to get. And I think for me, the biggest breakthrough in the first 6 months, I went to Reading as an SC. Reading was a regional, about 500 people there. I think it was in September, end of September. So I've been in the business 2 months or just under 2 months. SC, so I got STD first month, SC second month. And I was sort of sat there like, probably at the back of the room, arms folded, like, what am I doing here? Like, I really don't understand what I'm doing here. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it would be a bit like, a bit of a cult, not a cult, but, I just didn't know what to expect. And then I was at the back of the room and I was hearing all these stories and I was like, just nothing was really resonating with me. Nothing was really, I don't know. And I sat at the back and I was just thought, and then then Katie Wren came on right at the end. And she was talking about her journey, how she created all this momentum on social media. And she was just about to walk off stage, and Alex Webb, those of you who know Alex, stood up and said, how much money have you earned in the last year and a half? Now, I'm not money driven, but money makes the world go round. And if it can affect my daughter and have her to have a better future, then, I'm listening, and she got really embarrassed and went really red and looked up and started counting in her head. And I thought, she hasn't earned that much, surely. But my ears pricked up anyway. And she said a 6-figure number. And I was just
in what period of time?
In a year and a half.
So she'd earned 6 figures in a year and a half.
Yeah. And I was like, I think I probably spat and choked in my coffee a little bit. I don't know. I just believed her, just the way that her mannerisms. And I thought, right, if she can do that, then I can. There's no reason why I can't go for this. I didn't realise how big the playing field was. I was putting a lot of energy and determination, and like I said, I was self-motivated, but I was playing too small, I guess. So literally from then, November, December, October, November, December, I started doing my own events. I did my own first event as an SC. I got my uplines down. I said, I'm doing an event.
Where did you do that?
In Bournemouth.
Right.
I said, I'm doing an event in Bournemouth. I want you to come down. I want you to support me. We had 50 people in the room. There's about 25 team members there, 25 potentials.
And what did you present at that meeting?
Just the products.
Just the products.
And my upline then was like I think he was an SSC.
Right.
He did the business. Very good talking and everything out. So yeah, but it was just, again, it was all built on excitement and curiosity. Excuse me. It was all built on, curiosity, excitement. And as soon as they did the business presentation, that was it. I only needed to see it once, and then I did it myself. So I was doing the events, and And what would
you be showing people, Scott? I mean, when you say, "Oh, I just show the business. Once I see it, once I can see it." Some people will say, "Well, I don't know how to show the business." What were you showing people? Just stories.
Yeah, we don't need to be professionals, right? We're not all nutritionists, we're not all PTs, we're not all doctors. All we do is share an amazing business opportunity and share an amazing product with people. People that want to look good, feel good, or make money. As everyone wants one of those three things. If you find out what they want, and you'll find what we had. So with the events, it was products. This is the products. This is how long they've been about. This is the ingredients, very basic. These are the health benefits. Here's Susie, John, and someone else who've got amazing stories on their products. Will you give you a testimony?
Yep.
And then people are like, wow.
Yeah.
And then this is the business model. This is how long the company's been around. This is the countries we're in. This is how it works. It's all done online. You get your own office, you don't handle the products, £50 investment, everything after that. When you've made that money back as a profit. Here's, Alex, Damien and Joanne with their business stories. Someone who's an SDD and maybe a bit higher if there's people there. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. An hour tops. And it was all about the networking afterwards that was important.
Really, when you say the networking, what do you mean by that? You would would you all go for a meal afterwards, or?
No, well, not at that time. It was because it'd always be quite a trendy place. We'd have the event, so we'd all go into the bar, for example, have a drink. If it's my potentials, I'd be spending time with them. What did you think? If you've got any questions, could you fit this into your lifestyle, or do you think that the product or the business do you want to earn a bit of extra money? But get them to open up, because once you find out what they wanted, like me, when I found out, for me it was earning a bit of extra money to spoil my daughter at Christmas. That was then why I joined. So you have to find that with people as well.
Yeah. So everybody, in 5 minutes, we're just going to be asking some questions. So if you could put down in the chat box any particular questions that you've got for Scott, if you start doing that now, and then we'll go through those in about 5 minutes, and we'll ask you some questions, Scott, if that's all right, because that's normally the most powerful part of the whole thing. So clearly, this is obviously it's about running events. It's all about reaching out to people, but it's also critically about team building. Now, how easily did you make that transition into building a team, and how did that go for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was so passionate because I've seen how it changes people's lives, the products and the business, that I would speak to people about all of it. I wouldn't just go, oh, here's the products, here's the Amigas, because you said you had bad skin or whatever. I would talk to them about the whole lot and then let them start asking questions. But also, it's so important that you show people what it is we do, and not how easy it is. But how easy is it? Not in terms of being successful, because it isn't easy to be successful. You have to to do a lot of work and speak to a lot of people. But how easy it is in terms of compared to a conventional business. We don't have stock. You don't have massive overheads. It's a low investment. You don't have staffing issues and you have to pay people. There's none of that headache. There's none of that stress. All right. But it's a great way to help people get what they want, because not everyone wants to earn six figures. That was just me at that time, at that right time. Some people just, an extra £100 a month to cover their car tax, to get the food shopping in, to take their kids on a holiday. That's powerful. So that's what you have to, when you're speaking to people, that's what you have to show them. Yeah. Right? So it's really important you show people what it is we can offer. This business is powerful beyond belief.
Yeah. So how did you then, but obviously there was a period when it was just you, and then you were building a relatively small group of people, but then you started really building a team. So how did that begin to develop? Did you spend a lot of time working with individuals, or did you just let them go straight away and just say you just need to keep it simple and just share your story? How did that all work?
It's all about duplication, as we know. So we get paid to build a customer base, build a team, and to teach our team how to do the same. Right? And how I do it would be different to you do it, James. It would be different to
how do you do it?
Yeah. So for me, it was keep it simple. Find out what people want, offer what we have. But you have to have conversation to people every single day. If you're not talking to people, you may as well it's like having a shop that you're only opening from 9 in the morning till 10, right? Because you're not going to be open the rest of the time. You're not, you have to speak to people in this business. You have to build relationships with people, build rapport. You have to plant seeds, right? And they're not all going to grow straight away. But if you're only growing one or two, seeds a week, a month, then you might get one customer, one distributor. If you're planting 5 seeds a day or speaking to 5 people a day, that's 150 people a month.
Yep.
That's 1,800 people a year. And that's just 5 people. Anyone can speak to 5 people every day, especially with social media.
Yeah.
So if you're not speaking to 5 people every single day, I suggest that you do so.
So for the new people and, that are listening to call for the first time tonight, Scott, what would you say about your excitement, also the way you see the potential?
Yeah. So for me, like I hit NMD in 5 months, hit PMD in 10 months. And, you've always got your own personal goals. But for me, it's all about helping my team achieve their goals. If you help your team get what they want, then you ultimately will get what you want. But in terms of my vision, in terms of the company, my company vision, personally, I still think I've been playing too small. Like my business could be 3 or 4 or 5 times bigger. What I've got in the UK in terms of team members, I could have in the US, I could have in Australia, I could have in Europe. But I've not, because I'm holding myself back for that. In terms of the company vision, more countries being launched soon. There's probably more products. Updating IT systems. The business is gonna go crazy and keep growing, whether you do or not. So I'm not missing that boat. I'm gonna be going out there and then growing me, but growing my team as well and helping them get what they want. Yeah, I've never been so excited. 6 years in the business, I've never been so excited of where we're heading.
That's amazing. And Scott, how much money do you think you've earned since you've been involved in the last 6 years? Difficult.
Yeah, I don't know. $500,000 maybe.
Wow. It's not bad.
Yeah. Honestly, James, I don't know. But
no.
It's not about the money. It's not about the money. So I wanted to earn £100 a week, £100 a month to spoil my daughter at Christmas. When at Christmas, I had a Boxing Day, and she came to the house. I had a card in it, and I had a little envelope in it, and it was a picture of Disneyland, Paris. And her face when I told her we were going, that is what we do this business for. It was amazing. So we went 3 days over New Year's Eve. All right. So, this part-time business gave her those memories. And then forwarded on from that, all the bonuses I got to a PMD. I always used to live in military accommodation. And for those of you who know the military, it's not the best accommodation. So when I used to have my daughter weekends, it really used to break my heart because it was in hotels, or we used to go to like Butlins or holiday camps and, B&Bs or the military accommodation. And it's just, although she was young and it was fun time with dad, we never had a stable home. And with this bonuses, I was able to put a deposit down for a house, and, become a homeowner for the first time. And that's what this business can do. That's the power of it.
Amazing.
And again, when she come down and stayed with me, that scream of excitement, and she went upstairs and opened her bedroom and it was all decorated and seen it for the first time. Like, wow. She had her own room, the stability. That's why we do what we do. And then if I flip that, when my team have the same experiences, that's why we do what we do. Right? Cool. And if you can help more people have those sort of experiences, not only will you be successful, but they'll also stay in the business for life. Yeah. Because, the business is although it makes sense here, it's got them here. And that's what we're
very
about.
Powerful, Scott.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Now, look, let's just now come on to the questions, because we've got quite a few questions, and keep bringing them in, everybody. We're going to run till 9:15, if that's all right, Scott. But we've got some very interesting questions coming in. So Katie Cripps asks, how do you get team members? Are a lot of them happy customers first? And what's your process to bring people in?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, it was people I knew, like I said to you before, talked to them, showed them what I was up to, asked for their support, said that they'd look, that they could be good at the, business, or say it's not for them, but do you know anybody, sort of thing. So that's a really good way. Have like a list of people that you contact. Talk to them about the business, talk to them about the products. That's really, really, really important. And then use your social media well. All right. Are you posting about what this business has done for you? Are you posting not indirect posts about, your team that have got promoted, or have earned their first bonus, or, what you're able to spend with your part-time money? That's powerful. Yeah. Right. But are you posting enough about that?
Can I ask you about your video? Yeah. Patrick asks about your video, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Has that made a big impact for you on your business, doing the video?
Do you know what? It has. The team use it. But for me, what was happening was when you start, obviously your network only goes to a certain size. So when you start speaking to people outside of your network, or you grow your network, there's no rapport there. So you have to build that up. So for me, I was sending all these different videos, and they still were a bit like, oh, what is it? What is it? I don't understand. So I thought I would make a one-stop shop video that's 3 minutes long, that they can watch it from the start, from the end, and they can make a decision. Yes. Do you want, yes or no? Basically, do you want more information? Yes or no? And when they were like, yeah, it's good, then I'd get them on the phone, or I'd meet up with them. If they were like, oh no, I'm not interested, then I'd ask why, and then try and sort of, say to them, usually it'd be time, I haven't got enough time, or whatever. And then I'd go into the conversation with, well, it's only part-time, you have to put a few hours a week in, etc. So that was my sort of stages as I went on through the business.
Yeah. Simone asks, have you had people sign up and then not do anything, not respond to invitations to training, etc.? What do you do about that? I think we've all had that, but
yeah. I think the more time and energy you waste on trying to figure out why they're not replying to you, the more it's going to frustrate you. But as Jim Rohn says, just don't take the class. Do not take that class. Hey, that's people. That's people. Right? And you can't want it more for people than they want it for themselves. Right? They have to want it to themselves. So what I would always say is, when you sign a new team member up and you get a new customer, get on the phone to them, get a Zoom call, find out, help them, support them, find out what sort of time they can put into their business, and what their goals are. It's really important. So then you can guide them along the way. And then if they do go quiet, you can say, hey, I've not heard from you in a few weeks, or you wasn't on the Zoom, or you wasn't at the event. Are you still interested in using this business to take your family on holiday? Because that's powerful. If they told you that's what they want, that's powerful. Yeah. So if I seen a message like that, I'd be like, oh God, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth. I've got to pull my finger out. But everybody's different. Everybody's
And
different.
do you build the business differently with men and women? You know, or is it always the same approach?
Yeah, I'd say it's the same approach. It's the same approach. Obviously, your the people you talk to would be different because as a guy, you know, I'd speak to women that I knew. If I didn't speak to women I knew and I added loads on Facebook and that, they'd probably think I was a bit of a creep. You know, but you have to build that rapport first. So if you're in a group or on Instagram, you can like a few of their posts, you know, that sort of thing. Comment on the post, you're looking great, or interact. It's a bit different, but the fundamentals of this business is, like I said, find out what people want and offer what we have. That's it. That's the fundamentals.
Yep. And what would you do? Michelle asks, what would you do differently if you were going to start all over again? How would you be different in your approach?
I think the only thing I do differently is I built a shake business. I didn't realize like how powerful the caps are and the CHS.
Capsules. Yeah.
The capsules and healthy starts for families. Like if you've got someone on the capsules and getting the free chews, you've got a customer for at least a year. And I built a complete business, and with the complete, it's related to weight loss. So as quick as I built it, as quickly as it dropped, because weight loss is, you know, people yo-yo, they don't stick to it, everything else. With the capsules and the chews, you know, it's every day. You don't miss out with them. When if you do miss a day or a week, you're feeling crap again. So, you know, if you get a capsule customer, you've got them for life. As well, I expect James and, you know, Gordon, people on the call that probably had customers for years and years and years, you know, and that's important. All right. So what I'd say is, if I did go back, I would do packages. So healthy starts with the capsules, or capsules and lift, capsules and omegas, capsules and shakes. All right. Or capsule shakes and the boosters. All right. That's what I would always do, packages.
Yep.
And one other thing I would do differently is look after my customers better when I first started, because I had so many customers when I first started, I didn't look after them. Because one, you want a customer for life. You want to get paid, you know, by helping someone. You want to get paid from every month, you know, for the rest of your life. That's. Or two, you want them to join your team, because usually, not always, but usually your best customers will become your best distributors. Usually, because they got the belief in the products and they've got their own story already when they start. Not always, but usually.
Yeah. So for the new people, or for anyone really listening, I mean, you know, myself included, I mean, what would you say, Scott, are your like top tips? What top tips would you say to someone, look, these are some of the things, or these are the key things that I've discovered that you've really got to do that are going to make all the difference? What would you say?
I'd say, well, a lot of it I've spoke about, but for me, you have to speak to people. Yep. You have to talk to people about the business. You have to be open. Like I said, a shop. If you're a shop, you have to be open. And I'd say 5 people a day. Start with people you know, and then add to your network. Speak to more people.
Scott, just very quickly, let's say you're out and about, right? And you're talking to someone, let's say, whatever, you meet a friend on the street and you're going to open a conversation and you haven't spoken to them about it before. How would you get that going where you think, right, this is someone I've actually spoken to?
Yeah, I mean, short, sharp, and brief. So, hey, how you doing? A long time no see. What are you up to? You know, what do you do for work? What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm I work at Marks and Spencer's. Blah blah blah. Oh, brilliant. Are you enjoying it? Yeah, no, not really. Just paying. Got to pay the mortgage. Blah blah blah. What do you do? Because they'll say, what do you do? Of course they will. And I'll always. It changed actually. From the start as I go through the business. But I always say now, I've got my own. I'm self-employed. I've got my own online fitness and nutrition company where I help people all over the world. And they always go, wow, that sounds interesting. What's that all about then? And I'll never when I used to be in the business, I used to just be sick on someone and it's great. And, it's 100% natural, and you get your own office and website and you get £78,000 worth of bonuses, blah, blah, blah. And they were just like, what? Now I just go, oh, are you on Facebook? Or give me your number and I'll send you a couple of videos. And that's why I did the video. I'll send you a couple of videos, send me a link to a website, and later on, when you finish work or when you're off your lunch break, you can have a look at it.
No more conversation in the street as such. No more kind of telling them everything. Are you on Facebook? Let me just send you something.
Because when you start telling them everything, it's like you're trying to sell to them.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's someone you've arranged to meet or someone that you're speaking
Yeah.
to whilst getting a Costa coffee, no one wants to be sold to.
No.
But if you take an interest in someone, like let's say you were going into Costa's and you were speaking to someone who's serving you, you could say something like, they got a name tag, haven't they? Hey Julie, you know, I have a coconut latte or whatever. You know, how you doing? How's your day been? A bit of rapport. Is this your main job? You know, are you at college? If she's young, are you a student? Blah, 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 what you studying? You know, you could compliment, and your customer service has been really great today. You know, I really appreciate that. You'd actually be really good at what I do. You know, would you like more information?
Mm. Yeah,
You know, a bit of an online part-time business. Yeah, that sounds good. Never leave a business card or never leave your number. Always say, oh, do you mind if I add you on Facebook, or do you mind if I take your number? Or I would never take a girl's number that I'm speaking to because it's a bit creepy again. So I'd say, are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Or if it's a guy, maybe. But you know, hey, the idea is to build rapport with people, build that friendship, build that trust. Right, which is hard when you don't know someone. All right, and someone like that, if you add them on Facebook, they might not join straight away, even after you send them the information. But what they'll do is, if you're creating curiosity and intrigue and excitement, you know, it might be a week later, a month later, a year later, they'll see that, and then they'll message you. Right? I've had people watch me for 4 years and then message me saying, right, I'm ready to go now. The time of before wasn't right, but now I'm good to go. So the first, like I said about planting seeds, some take time to grow, but you have to plant them and you have to water them.
So the first top tip is speak to people. Another couple?
I would say belief. All right. So the first one is belief in the products. Right. You have to have belief in the products. I'm not saying try all the products, but start on the capsules or make use of the selfie starts for families, because they obviously get it for free. The choose for free. Have that belief. And when you talk to people, tell people how it's done, how it's helped you, how it's helped your customers, how it's helped other people's customers. Right, have that passion and belief, but also in the business as well. And if you haven't been to an event yet, get to an event, whether it's a small event, in-home event, company event, online event, get to an event, because you'll hear stories. The more stories you hear about the business, the more excited you will be. Right, but you have to have that belief in the business and show people what it is we can offer. And the third part of the belief is belief in yourself. But you have to have belief in yourself. Right? What's holding you back from achieving your goals in this business or achieving your goals in life? All right. It might be other people's opinions. It might be, people lack of support from family. It could be your knowledge on the business and the products. It could be so many things holding you back. But you've got to try and cut away those things and just do nothing until you've achieved what it is you want, and go for it. Right? It's so important, guys, that you have belief in yourself. And if you're not that type of person, then people like James, and again, go to Gordon or John Holowati, people in this business who have been in the business, 20 years or so, who have been successful, they're there to help and support you. So go and get that help and support. Right? Ask for people to give you a bit of guidance.
So we're halfway through the year now. What are your goals for this year?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I did my charity event in Uganda, my charity work in Uganda. So that was something I wanted to do personally. So I just volunteered for 2 weeks in December. And then I'm now affiliated with the orphanage, and I want to help them, just achieve all their sort of small goals that they've got, which is small in our eyes, but big in theirs. Food for the kids, shelter, getting them into school, all that sort of stuff. So that was a personal goal. Business goals, I just want to start building worldwide. For me personally, I think I was on my playing field was too small. I was thinking too small, and I didn't have the belief that I can have. So that's something that I've been working on this year.
And how are you going to do that, Scott? How are you going
more self-development? So I'm listening to a lot of motivational things on YouTube. Speaking, I speak to Alex quite a lot. Alex Webb once a week or once a month. Just a little pep talk. He's someone I can relate to. He's ex-military and same sort of upbringing and things like that. But yeah, just try and think on a bigger scale. Like, anything is possible with this business. It really is. It really, really is. And, you know, I'm living proof of that.
Yeah. Well,
So
Scott, look, yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you are living proof, and your story is really, really spectacular. I mean, for the new people, just what could you just got one word of encouragement you give to the new people that are listening to or watching this for the first time tonight?
yeah, I would say give it everything you've got. Give it everything you got. Whatever you want to achieve, now however big or small, give it 100%. Because if you're not giving it 100%, what are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Right? Give it 100% of your time, your effort, and your focus and energy. And I don't mean, when I say 100%, it could be 100% of just the hour a day you're working because you only want to earn an extra part-time wage. Or if you want to go to your next position, you know what you've got to do, but give it 100%. And yeah, don't ever give up. Don't ever go up, because it might not happen straight away, but it will happen if you give it your all. Right? It will happen.
Cool. Scott, thank you very much indeed. You've been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, really, you are living proof. You're a dynamic, amazing entrepreneur, and your story is really seriously spectacular. But I am sure that we haven't seen the half or the quarter of what you are going to be and what you're going to become. So this is a massively inspiring evening and interview for all of us.
Thank you very much. And it's always a pleasure, mate. It's always a pleasure. And guys, have a great rest of the evening and enjoy the rest of your week. And whatever your goals are this month, absolutely smash it. Yeah, go for it.
Brilliant. Scott, thank you very much indeed. Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.